Today I'll talk about some hidden secrets of grouping in PowerPoint. This will be the first of the two-part video series. First off, you might ask, Ram, what is there to learn about grouping? After all, you select everything, press Ctrl G, grouped, and the matter is over. Trust me, there is so much about grouping that you don't know, and watching this video till the end will really open your eyes to new possibilities of using grouping. So without wasting much time, let us jump right in. I'm Ramgopal from presentationprocess.com. If you want to learn 25 creative presentation ideas that you can use in your next presentation, please join this 5-day free email course by clicking on the link in the description box below the video. Alright, first let us understand the power of the regroup option. You might be quite familiar with grouping and ungrouping. For example, to group a set of objects, you select everything and press Ctrl G. And to ungroup it, you use Ctrl Shift G and the objects are ungrouped. But there is a very interesting feature called regroup, and it can come quite handy in many situations. Now take a look at these dots. In these, there are a few that are colored differently than the rest. Now let me group these items. By the way you select multiple objects is very simple. You click on one and then hold the shift button and click on the other ones so you can select everything together. Now let me group it by pressing Ctrl G. Now PowerPoint remembers that you have grouped these elements once. Now let me ungroup them by pressing Ctrl Shift G. Now I do whatever I want with these items. Let us say I turn them back into black color. Now it is not possible to visually distinguish them from the others. Now let us say I had forgotten which of the elements I have grouped together. All I need to do is to just select one of them and press Ctrl Shift J, which is the shortcut for regroup. Now see how these three elements are regrouped again. This is from the memory. PowerPoint knows that these three were grouped earlier and therefore now is grouping again using the regroup option. Next, let us go to a very interesting option in grouping called nested grouping. Let me show you what it is. Let us add a few objects here. As usual, I add a few dots. Now let me open the selection pane by going to editing and go to select and selection pane. And here I am going to group these objects and I'm going to rename the group. Let us select this, press Ctrl G to group. Now I'm going to rename this group as small group. Alright, now let me add another object, the same circle. Let us say I want to add the next one slightly bigger and let us give this a different color. Now I'm going to select all of these and press Ctrl G. Now I have created the next group. Can you see here? This is another group which already has one group built in, and let us call this as medium group. Now let us add one more circle and let us give this a different color, maybe this red color. Let me group all of these together and press Ctrl G. Now you can see I have a new group which already has these subgroups, and I'm going to call this as the big group. Now the real magic happens when you ungroup this group. Let me select this. Can you see all the elements are selected? So you may not really know that PowerPoint remembers these subgroups. Now let me press ungroup by right clicking and going to group and ungroup, or you can use Ctrl Shift G, it doesn't matter. Now see how the ungrouping happens. The top level group is ungrouped. Can you see there is no such thing as big group here? We still have medium and small groups. Now let me select this and press Ctrl Shift G. Now you can see the next level of ungrouping. The elements are ungrouped, but still the earlier group, which is called a small group, still remains. This is called as nested grouping function. The difference between how beginners approach grouping and the way the experts approach grouping is in this beautiful option called nested grouping. Let us say you want to draw a complex graphic in PowerPoint. It could be the graphic of a tree. When you understand nested grouping, you can group all the leaves together, all the branches together, all the roots together, so you can work with these subgroups in an intelligent way rather than grouping everything together and struggle to work with the individual elements inside. So whenever you create complex graphics, remember to use the power of nested groups. Let's go to the next hidden capability of grouping function. Very few people know that it is possible to add a shape within a group. Let me explain. Here I have 3 separate rectangles. By the way, remember how I am selecting multiple objects. I am just clicking and dragging my cursor across so I can select all of them. This allows me to select a lot of objects in one go. If by any chance I don't want to have one of the elements selected, I can always hold the shift button or control button and click that specific object. I can have that removed from the selection. It is just an additional tip. Okay, so let us select all of them. Press Ctrl G to group it. Now let us add some animation. I'm going to add a very simple fly-in animation so you can see that all of them are coming together. Now I want to add a 4th box inside this group. I don't have to ungroup these boxes, add another box and then regroup them again. I just can select this, hold the control button and click and drag this box, and I can have the 4th one, and you can see that it is still inside the box. Now you might wonder if the animation is still intact. When I go to slideshow, on a click you can see that all 4 elements are coming together. It's a very interesting aspect of grouping that many people are not aware of. By the way, if you want to learn such insider tips and tricks in PowerPoint, which comes from years of working with PowerPoint, then you can join this interesting course called Ramgopal's PowerPoint Mastery Program. The link to this product is in the description box below the video. Just thought of sharing that product. Let us continue. Since we were talking about the aspects of very common tools that people are not aware, let us understand a few unique things about grouping. One of the interesting things is you can align objects even though they are inside a group. Let me show you what I mean by that. As usual, let us add a few circles and let us place them all over the place like this. Now I'm going to group them all together by pressing Ctrl G. Many presenters think once a few objects are grouped together, then their position is frozen. It is not. It is possible for you to work with those objects even though they are grouped. Let me first select the first one. Usually, whenever you select a grouped object, you will see that on the first click, you will select the entire group. Then when you click on a specific object, only that object is selected. While holding the shift button, I am selecting all these objects. Now, I want them all to be aligned centrally, so I can go here and click on the Align Central option, and I can have them distributed horizontally. While I did all this, you can see that these objects are still grouped together. That means if you had applied any custom animation to the group, it will still be retained. When you know the inner workings of a simple tool, your confidence in working with that tool improves dramatically. Here is the next unique thing about grouping. You can use Format Painter tool to pick the formatting of a single object inside a group, but not vice versa. Let me show you what I mean by this. Let us draw a few circles as always. Let us make a duplicate by pressing Ctrl D and have another one like so. Maybe we can keep these things together. I'm going to color this in a different way. Let us choose maybe this color, and for this one I'm going to choose red. Let us select these elements and press Ctrl G to group them. Now when I want to copy the formatting of one of these objects, I can copy the format using Format Painter, and I can apply it to this object which is not formatted yet. Let me show you. I'm going to select this one. It has got the teal color. Go to Home, and here you have this option called Format Painter. You click on it. Now the formatting of this is copied. When I click on this, you can see that the same formatting is copied onto this object which is not inside the group. Now let us understand what I mean by not vice versa. Let me select this and give this a different color, maybe black color. Now I want to apply this formatting to just this red colored circle. Can I do it? Let us see what happens. I select this, go to Format Painter, and I click on this red colored dot. You can see that both these elements are given the same treatment or given the same formatting. That is what I mean by vice versa. You can pick the formatting of any of the objects inside a group, so you can apply it to any element outside the group, but you cannot do so vice versa. That's another unique thing about grouping in PowerPoint. Let us talk about the next unique thing about grouping in PowerPoint. We all think the combination of Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V is the same as using Ctrl+D, which is for duplicate. But in grouping, it works differently. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let us draw a couple of circles as always. Let us have this colored in a different way so we can distinguish this. So we have these two elements, and let us press Ctrl+G to group them. Now let us use Ctrl+D to one of these objects. Let us select this red colored one and press Ctrl D. Now observe what has happened here. This piece is still inside the group. Can you see? All these are still grouped together. So whenever you duplicate an object which is inside a group, the duplicate object still rests within the group. Let us delete this. Now what if you want to have a copy of one of the elements which is inside a group? You use the combination of Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Let us select this, press Ctrl C. Now we have this object stored inside the short-term memory of this computer. Let us press Ctrl V, which is for paste. Now I can move this anywhere. When I click on this, you can see that only these are grouped, whereas this one is independent of the group. So that is another unique thing about grouping in PowerPoint. Now let me close this video by talking about one more property of grouping. We will talk about the other aspects of grouping in the next video. This one is in fact a neat little trick that you need to know. Let me go to Shapes, select a circle, and let us have this in blue color. Let me press Ctrl D to create a duplicate, and I'm going to draw a larger circle like so, and let us have this in red color. Let me make another copy by pressing Ctrl D and have this even bigger and place this right on top of the previous one and have this as green color. Now I'm going to select all of these and press Ctrl G to group them. Now let us say suddenly you realize that you need to access the blue colored small circle which is right behind in this group and change the color of that object to yellow. Now how would you access it? It's very simple. Let us select this. Now you hit the tab key and you can see that now we have the smaller circle selected, which is one of the objects inside the group is selected. I can change the color to yellow. Now when I hit tab, you can see that the next circle is selected, and then when you hit tab again, it goes back to the bigger, larger circle. Now when you want to go back in selection, you can always hold the shift button and hit tab. You can see now it is the second level circle shown, and then tab again. Now the smaller one is selected. So to cycle through the various objects that are grouped but are hidden, you can use tab. And of course there is always this option of selecting a particular object and then right clicking, and you can use the send to back option to bring in the middle one, and you can send this one back and you can bring in the last one. So this layering also works quite nicely even though the elements are grouped. So this is again a very unique thing about grouping in PowerPoint, and I hope you use this option of using tab to cycle through the objects that are grouped but hidden. By the way, how many of the things that I just talked about that you know already? If you had picked even one new thing from this video, please mention that in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please give this video a thumbs up so I can get even more motivation to make the next video about grouping in PowerPoint. And if you want to learn some unknown things about some of the common tools like merge shapes in PowerPoint, then click on the link that you see right now on your screen and watch this video next. I'll see you inside that video next.